All right, guys, let's get into this story. This is a really crazy story, and I can't even believe the outcome. All right, guys, I wanted to cover this case. I just came across it literally within the last 48 hours. This is about Spencer Pearson, who's now 20 years old. He is the defendant in this case. And this is what I'm going to play first is going to be just like raw footage of the restaurant parking lot and then inside the restaurant. And then I haven't watched it fully, this actual clip. So I'm hoping that it shows everything to the end of what happens. But the background of this case is pretty scary. Spencer had been dating a girl named Maddison, and they dated, I believe, between 6 to 8 months. And she thought that their breakup was cordial. And apparently he started to stalk her and make her feel uncomfortable. There had been a few instances where he had followed her as she was driving, like at night, and just weird, creepy things. He had sent a photo of like him trying to unalive himself or something, kind of like a manipulative thing. And the mom of Maddison ended up calling Spencer's mom to be like, hey, your son's being freaking crazy. He ended up getting voluntarily Baker acted. And so I believe it had been, they split up in April. This occurred, I believe, in June of 2023. Don't quote me on anything because I'm still like learning about this case. That's one horrible trait that I have, is that I put a different toe in each different case. And so forgive me for that. But this happened in St. Johns County, Florida. And Spencer Pearson was actually just sentenced to, who's now 20, I think I said that, to life in prison. You will see in the video that he ends up stabbing his ex-girlfriend, Maddison, who was in high school at the time, and her mother, who was with her, and a good Samaritan who was trying to help them and save them. And intervened in the incident. And this all happened outside of this restaurant. So I'm going to play the footage, and I watched a little bit of this footage during sentencing, but the sentencing was, I think it was like 4 hours long. So there's a little background on it. I'll probably also make like a little slideshow, kind of like what I did for the Karen Reed thing, because when you're new to a case, it's kind of easier for me anyways, just like break things down. And I also want to try to find his trial. I have found a ton of videos on his sentencing, but nothing on the trial. So I'm going to go ahead and play the footage. I will let you know that this truck right here is his. So we're going to start out with that, and then I'll come in and commentate on the things that I know. Okay, so at this point, Madison's friend Chloe. So here is Maddison. Here is Chloe. This is Chloe's mom, and this is Madison's mom. These two end up being the victims in this case and the Good Samaritan. So this is just the overall inside of, I believe this place is called Chubby's Wing House. I've never heard of it. So as you saw, you're about to see Spencer's going to come walking in here in a few minutes. Okay, so here is Spencer right here in the hat, and he's got flip-flops on and shorts, just t-shirt, whatever. And I may kind of, we'll see how this does speed-wise. He goes and walks up to a high-top table and sits down. And here's a different angle of him coming in, and just in Maddison and her friends over here. He goes up to the high top table and sits down. This is actually very clear. The one that I saw in court was not clear. Can we zoom in? I guess not. So he's sitting here. He can visually see her over here. So with this view, he's right here, but he just got up and walked to the bathroom. Let me see that again. There he goes. Okay. He gets up and walks to the bathroom. Madison's noticing right here. You can see on her face, holy shit, that's Spencer. I don't know. I haven't found the trial to even know if he purposely wanted them to see that he was there or what. But you can tell she looks surprised. I think at this point they're kind of like, okay, is he here with somebody? Like, what's going on? Here he goes. He's walking back to his high top, and apparently he ordered one order of mozzarella sticks, and that was it. And he's actually eating. Wow. To be able to eat before you commit a heinous crime. Okay, here they are. I think the mom and Maddison are probably like, we need to get out of here. Why the hell is he here? This is weird. Clearly, there had been issues because they were caught off guard by him being there, and it made them uncomfortable. My God. So, needless to say. I'm going to try to speed this up. And you can still see him. He's right here. So he's going to be able to see when they get up to leave. My question, though, when I saw this and sentencing was, how did he time paying his bill? Or did he pay his bill? Or, that's the kind of the weird things that I think of. Like, did he dine and dash and then the waitress come out there too? Or like, did he order it and then just go ahead and pay for it? I don't know. That's why I really want to find the trial. I'm sure I'll be able to find it. I haven't yet. So you're going to see they're going to leave here shortly. And yep, they're getting up right now. They're like, let's get up and get out of this bitch. This is weird. All right, looks like they're getting up. Okay, they're going to leave. Here they go. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Here he is right here. He's looking over. What is he waiting on? I feel like he bum rushed them. Okay, wait. So he talked to they talked to that server. Wait a second. Let me back that up just a touch. How did that happen? They're already outside. So they go outside. That server's there. Oh, she must have told them, hey, go talk to them really quick. They want to talk to you or something. They're asking about, I think they asked her, this is what was said during testimony, if he was actually eating something, like being a paying customer or whatever. Okay, here he goes. He cuts through that guy and he starts running. You're going to see him at this angle. This is the girls when they originally come out. Here is the waitress that they talk to really quick, just at a different angle. She goes in. He stays there for a few more seconds. I didn't see Chloe's mom go out, which I was wondering. Okay. And here this guy comes in with his kid. The kid walks in and he runs right past that kid. The guy's kind of like, what the hell? Okay, here we go. Where are we looking? Okay, here we go. They're going to their vehicles here. He bum rushes Maddison to the ground. Actually, just kind of put this into better perspective here. Let's turn our playback speed something slower. Okay, and here they are. They're walking. There's Maddison here. The friend Chloe here. He goes right here. He's stabbing her to the ground. Here's the mom in the yellow. She comes to get, and he stabbed her in the back. And here's the Good Samaritan. This is playback in 0.7. And here's another one. There was 2 total. I know one got his hand stabbed as well. And then he stabs the mom, or he stabs Maddison. He stabs the mom. He stabs the Good Samaritan in the hand, and then starts slicing his throat. And then the second Samaritan that came up grabs the knife from him while he's trying to end his life. And then obviously, thank God for cameras. You know, this is the kind of stuff that truly just, and then this is so scary too, because having a daughter, it's like, oh my God, I know one day I'm going to have to deal with her. Having relationships. And it's just so scary to think that there are people like this in the world. And it's just, it sends my anxiety crazy. Let me go to the end. By this time, everybody appears. Police are there. Now I want to go ahead and... Okay, so now we're going to watch his first court appearance. I want to make sure that my playback speed is normal. And you're going to notice that his neck has gauze wrapped around it, and that is because he was trying to slit his throat. So this is 3 minutes and 33 seconds.
Spencer Pearson. Did you hear and understand those rights I gave?
Did you understand those rights? It's a yes, Your Honor.
Have the ability or funds to hire a lawyer?
Your Honor, for the record, Matthew Kaczurgis, I'll be representing Mr. Pearson going forward.
All right. Did you get a copy of the charges?
I've received a copy of I obtained a copy of the arrest warrant and the statement of facts in support thereof, and I'm aware of the bond and conditions.
Looks like a warrant issued by Judge Smith does suffice for sufficient probable cause, and Judge Smith has set a no bond on the attempted murder charges. And there's 2 counts of those, a $100,000 bond on the aggravated battery. They shall remain at no bond, 100,000, and no bond. Also, if he were to bond out, I'm going to go ahead and enter domestic violence, no contact pretrial release orders, and no contact orders. They'll be with global positioning. Must have no contact with MS or Jesselyn Road. You can't use or possess any firearms or ammunition. Any of those would have to be surrendered. If you come within 1,500 feet of those individuals or their place of employment or their residence, can't have contact with the automobile. That GPS monitoring device would alarm, and they'll give you some maps to help you out with that. Also entering a pretrial release no contact order with regard to Kennedy Armstrong. Similar conditions. If you come within 500.
I think Kennedy Armstrong is the Good Samaritan who got stabbed in the hand.
To that individual, you would be in violation of the no contact order. All right. Anything further?
Nothing from the.
I don't know what's going on with the camera.
Sorry, Caitlin Payne for the State Attorney's Office. I'm the prosecutor that would be on this case. I just want to ensure, I know you have the 3 pretrial release no contact orders, but also if there could just be a trespass if there ever is a bond in this case to the location in which all this happened, that would be.
I'll add that condition. No trespassing. Give me that address.
Holly, can you please read that off?
It's 150 Valley Circle in Ponte Vedra Beach. The business is Mr. Chubby's Wings.
Thank you, Holly.
All right. No trespassing there. Okay. Good luck to the parties. That'll conclude this first appearance.
Thank you. And Judge, all I have before you today, may I be excused?
Yes, you may.
Thank you, Judge.
Have a good day, Your Honor.
Counsel, you too. Thank you.
Exactly a year ago.
Clipping them in here.
All right. We're gonna go ahead and get into sentencing, and this one is I think is 13 minutes long. All right.
Is there any legal reason why this court cannot impose sentence at this time, Mr. Kaczurgis?
No, Your Honor.
I'm just going to point out a few people that I recognize in the crowd, just in case you want to know. Here's Maddison, the ex-girlfriend who was stabbed to death. She was, I don't know if I mentioned this, but her and her mother both lived. And obviously the bystander was stabbed in the hand. He lived as well. Maddison was paralyzed from her neck down, but has done amazing things. And I'm going to link some videos of her testimony. And it's just, she's amazing. It's truly remarkable. She's an amazing girl. She's walking, and her victim impact statement is, I cried. All of the victim impact statements were good. I believe that these are Spencer's parents, I'm pretty sure. And this is the mom, or that's the mom. We'll find out at the end, because I think that there are a lot of theatrics. I feel like there were.
not just today, but in the days and weeks leading up to this sentencing hearing. This is a difficult case. This court has faced several very difficult cases recently, and this one is no different. The defense in this case has filed a motion and requested for this court to depart below the guideline sentence. As previously stated, the minimum sentence based upon the guidelines is 227.25 months in Florida State Prison. In analyzing the defense's motion and request for the court to downward depart, the defense has presented throughout the course of this sentencing hearing evidence and testimony that would meet the preponderance of the evidence that would permit this court to deviate and downward depart. The court does find that the defense has met its burden, showing the defendant's capacity to appreciate the criminal nature of the conduct. He does require some specialized treatment for a mental disorder that is unrelated to substance abuse or addiction or for physical disability, and the defendant is amenable to treatment. I don't know that I agree that this was an unsophisticated manner. I'm not going to find that as to that factor. And I do believe that the defendant is old enough to appreciate the consequences of the offense. So the only factor that the court does find that the defense has met is the fact that he does require some specialized treatment for a mental disorder that is unrelated to substance abuse or addiction or for physical disability. That does not, the analysis of downward departure does not stop at the defense's meeting the threshold and establishing by preponderance of the evidence that there are mitigating circumstances that would permit this court to deviate below that guideline sentence. The second prong of that analysis is whether or not the court should. June 3rd of 2023, the events that unfolded on that afternoon were horrific. This defendant launched a vicious attack on a 17-year-old girl who had done nothing but show him love, and only weeks earlier had done her part to try to save his life when he attempted suicide. The same person that tried to save his life, he violently and viciously attacked. Many folks in this courtroom have declared Kennedy Armstrong a hero. This court has no quarrel with that assessment. Kennedy Armstrong is most certainly a hero. And but for his actions and the actions of Maddison's mother, this defendant would have successfully killed Maddison Shimmons. That crime, the crime that was described and shown here today, and the result of that crime, and the impact of this crime that it has had on all three of the victims in this case, leads this court to the conclusion that any deviation below the guidelines is inappropriate. denying the defendant's motion for downward departure. I have considered the mitigating circumstances that have been well presented by the defense in this case. Mr. Kuchergis, you have done an excellent job in representing your client and providing this court with mitigation. And this court has carefully thought and weighed and considered your client's age, his lack of any prior criminal history, the fact that he was suffering from clearly a depressive state of mind when this happened, his age. This court does not impose a sentence based on vengeance. As was mentioned, that courts are not here to sentence out of vengeance. This court has carefully thought about all of the mitigation in this case. But the crime that was committed the impact that this crime has had on this court has considered Maddison, Jackson, and Kennedy. There are just certain crimes that are committed that merit the maximum possible sentence. And this court finds that this is one of them. Spencer Pearson, you have entered a plea of guilty to 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder with a weapon. As to counts 1 and 3 of the information, you are adjudicated guilty. You are sentenced to serve the remainder of your life in prison. As to count 5, you are adjudicated guilty. You are sentenced to serve 30 years in Florida State Prison. All sentences are to run concurrent with each other. Madam Clerk, please reflect that he has 536 days that he has previously served and imposed the standard felony court costs. Mr. Pearson, you have 30 days to appeal the legality of this court sentence. If you wish to appeal but cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. This court is adjourned.
Your Honor, we can state as an
As to remaining counts.
State what announcement all prosecutors.
Make your way to the elevator.
Mr. Pearson.
Come on, approach.
I love you, Spencer.
Yes.
the judge does allow the mom to God, I'm gonna get emotional. Ugh. No matter what your kids do, they're still your kids. I mean, the crimes he committed were horrific, but that's still her son. And for the judge to allow this is, you know, it's that doesn't happen. I don't ever see it happen, but yeah, you can't you can't just go and stop people. You can't do it. And I think that the family of Spencer Pearson thought because the victims lived, that he would, and his age and no prior criminal history, I guarantee you they thought, oh, maybe he'll get like 8 to 10 years. He'll have a life after. No, he got life, no parole, and 30 years on top of that. But yeah, let's finish watching this.
Have you ever considered
All for this video? I will link the whatever I find. I definitely want to link the victims' impact statements. As you can see, I have like the mother here. I have Maddison. There's actually testimony here. So I'll link everything that I can find that if anybody's interested to watch anything else about it. But may peace be with both families, and young love, man. Young love. But I will see you guys in the next one.
And if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share with some friends.